Hello Darts Nutz, welcome to Darts Review channel. Right, I did a preview of this a few weeks ago and then I was asked to delist it or remove it, but I just delisted it, and it was because they said I'd give away too much information. I don't know what I was supposed to do, to be honest, but anyway, that video is back up now and now I can talk about it. Yay! So it's the Winmau BLADE 360. Now, essentially, as far as I can tell and as far as I can see from what I've read, it's exactly the same as the Blade 6 triple core carbon. It's just now it's got the symmetrical logos, so all the logos around, which allows you to have 10 symmetrical rotations. I'm going to put it down. So I'm going to give you a look at that, but I'm not going to go into a full detailed review because if it is the same as the triple core carbon, I've already reviewed that. They've also got the new Blade 360 surround, which you've probably also seen in that video that I did. And they've got a Winmau Device Holder, so that allows you to have that on the wall and you can add your mobile or your tablet. I'm not going to put it up because I don't really use them myself, and also there's not a lot of space where I've got everything at the moment. But I'll show you a close look at it and we'll just have a little go on the desk and see how it works. But I don't know what the prices are of everything yet, so on the day of release I'll get on my computer and then I'll do either put the prices up on the screen or do an extra little bit. But for now we're just going to have a look at the board and then I'll show you the things and then I'll talk a little bit more about it. So we'll just have a look on the box first, and still got the board in, so as you can see it says full rotation and what does it say, 10 rotations, but everything else is the Blade 6 features triple core. So you've got the top layer, which is a slightly softer layer anyway, and then the middle layer which holds the darts in better, and then the carbon backboard. So I think that's just to make it a little bit stronger and what have you. But also the wires, it's all the same as far as I can tell. So like I said, there's no point in going into a highly detailed review when it's just basically the same but just different logos. And you get your usual little brackets and the rotor lock wheels. And that's everything in the box. So on the back, you got your holes for the rotor lock wheels, and there you go. Still says Blade 6 basically, so it's just the same on the back there, just like I say. And I think that's just a carbon sticker. I think the carbon section is actually inside the board itself, but I've never actually cut one open to find out. Maybe you should. But as you can see, the main difference is the logos just going round. So obviously sometimes people say they're a bit OCD about the logos and they hate when they see the logos upside down. So obviously as you're rotating it, you're always going to have, providing that you got the black on the top, you're always going to have the Winmau logo, Winmau. I say that sometimes as well, Winmau, but I know it is Winmau. But what I like about the fact that they've done these logos is they've kept them small and they've also kept them in quite a subdued colour, so that's not bad. But I still think they're a little bit too close to the doubles, and like I've mentioned before, I have slightly iffy eyesight, so it kind of bothers me sometimes, but the more I play with it, the more I can kind of get used to it. But as you can see, I haven't actually thrown any darts at this one yet, so I am going to do that, and I'm just going to, in the meantime, from this video being done, I'm going to throw at the doubles as much as I can get a chance to do, and then I'll be able to report at the end of the video how I got on and whether or not I did find it a distraction. But I do like the numbering. But again, this is another thing, I think, why can't they make the numbers smaller? They're really only there for beginners who don't know what they're doing, I suppose. But once you know where the numbers are, you don't even really need them, to be honest. But anyway, we'll have a closer look at the board. Right, so there's the bullseye, and like I've said before, I find it difficult to tell if it's properly central, but it does look so to me. But I do have astigmatism, so that is an issue. And there we go. So just go around the board slowly for you. As you can see, the spider protrudes out into the main part of the board. I think that's just a piece of sisal fibre. But the anti-glare numbering is pretty good. And you've got the flat numbers, so that's good as well. But I don't really think there's anything to complain about in terms of how the board looks. I don't think you ever get 100% perfect with zero marks or anything, but I think that's pretty good. One thing I do like about the blades though is I do like the spiders, and I do like the slightly beveled wire that they use. I think it's probably one of the better kinds. But there you go. I'm just going to take some measurements quickly. Alright, so the ball about 12.5, 12.6 nearly, and either side 8.48, and so I've got that in the middle, that's about 8.2, so ever so slightly out, but I can't really tell that. So what's that? 9.4, and the doubles, that's wider, 9.93. Let's try that again. Depends how close you get it right into that edge bit there, and also in the middle. I would still say that's 9.4. Let's try that one again. Probably about 9.6, so maybe not 9.9, but it's almost getting right near 10mm. But I think the rules state that the apex of the wire hasn't to be more than 10mm from apex to apex, so I don't think they'll be able to make the bed area 10mm unless they start coming out with some kind of invisible wire, but use a laser or something. So there you go. Right, I'm just going to dig a point in. Well, that bullseye feels pretty firm. So yeah, so does the 25. Now let's see what it's like the rest of the board. Now this, I'm almost sure that's firmer than the Blade 6 that I actually reviewed a while ago. Definitely feels firmer. But what it'll feel like when I come to throw on it, we'll have to see. But if that's the case, maybe they've improved it and made it a bit firmer for all the batches. And if they have, then great. Right, I'm just going to get my old Winmau Blade 6 triple core carbon. Right, so this one is the one that I've used. I can't really say how much I've used it though. I mean, it wears fairly well. It's just that I've always felt it was a little bit on the soft side, and sometimes the nose of the barrel on my darts would go right in up to the board, which wasn't good. But I know this has been used a bit, so see, it just goes in a bit too easy on this one, yeah, even the bullseye feels so much softer. So whether they've improved the firmness or what, I don't know, but you can see how far it goes in. I know, like I say, it's been used a bit, but it still just feels really soft, so I don't know. And that one there just went in like too easy. So I'm interested to see whether this 360 is gonna feel different when I start throwing at it. So we'll have a look at the tablet holder now. Alright, so this is the device holder. What does it say? Flexible portrait or landscape mode, secure adjustable screw mechanism, protective anti-scratch rubber grip, durable lightweight anodized aluminium. And that gives you the dimensions there if you need to know. And Gets all the screws and the little Allen key included. Alright, so I guess everything's in there, is it? Yeah, so as your raw plugs, your screws and the Allen key, nothing on that side there. So yeah, made of alloy, so no plastic there. So I guess all you do is just unscrew that and just slide it up. So drill your holes in the wall, and that's basically it, basically. So let's see if it holds a tablet. I've got a paracetamol here. I'm only joking. Let's see if it works with my mobile. It hasn't quite got that right there. I haven't put it down, that's why. It's awkward to see what you do when the camera's in the way. I see. Yeah. There's a little bit of like a rubber section on the top there, so you can push that against it. And I think, yeah, there's rubber on the bottom there, so that just helps protect it. So that'll be the anti-scratch thing that he was on about. And there you go. So, well, it still hasn't got it totally tight. Why is that? It should be. It's not going to fall out like, but you would want it to be completely clamped in, so maybe I just haven't got it set up right. There we go. So that's it. So just pilot error basically, but it's well solidly made, so there you go. That's the tablet holder device. Alright, so I've got the board up on the wall with the 360 surround, and yeah, it definitely looks good, but I think nearly all the boards look good when you got them when they're nice and new. But I'm not finding the colours a distraction on the multi-logos, but whether or not it bothers me being that close to the doubles remains to be seen, so I'll have a few throws at it now. Just put my strap on first. Strap on. Is that the right way? Now somebody was asking me about this strap, and basically the physio just said to try it when I'm doing things. Mainly what happens when you wear it is it pushes against the tendon and it just takes some of the stress away from the tendon. It doesn't really stop the pain, but it kind of reduces it. So, and also when I throw, I put it on quite tight simply because that's the only way I can like really feel. I don't know whether I've got it in the right spot like. So let's have a throw and see how they go. Now the darts that I'm using, I can already feel my arm. These are 22 gram. And I don't think they've gone in as far as I remember they're going in when I first reviewed the triple course. These are my first throws of the day actually. This thing on my arm though, it kind of makes your arm feel like somebody's squeezing it, and when you get to the certain point in the throw, it just feels weird. It feels like somebody's just grabbed hold of your arm. But if it helps to take away some of the pain, then I'm happy to use it and put up with it. Now that's definitely a lot firmer, I think. So it could be when I got the, mind you, a lot of people said the same thing when they got the the Blade 6 triple core carbons when they first came out. A lot of people were saying they were soft, so whether they have actually changed it, I don't know. But if they have, then great. So I'm gonna see if I can have a go around the doubles. I'll just go one dart at each and then see what happens. Oh, wrong double. But you see already my eyes are see, I don't know whether I've already mentioned it. I think I've mentioned it before. I have like double vision, and most of the time my left eye is the one that's concentrating on what it's seeing, but as I get during the day, and also as I've got older, they're both kind of switching, trying to compete for which one's seeing the best. So it takes me a while to start ignoring what I'm seeing and just concentrating with the left eye. I know I could close my right eye, but it's weird. When I close my right eye, everything just feels just as weird, so I just put up with it. But it's something I've always had, so I've kind of got used to it for most things. But at the moment, I'm seeing all the numbers and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's messing with my eyes a little bit, all the logos. But I think after a while I'll probably end up blocking it out, but how long that'll take I don't know. But with the Ultra and the Ultra 2, they've got that kind of a luminous colour, and I found that more of a distraction. But I will keep on playing with it as much as I can, and then on the day of release I'll do the update, and hopefully I'll have played on it a little bit longer then and have a better idea of how I've got on with it. Not doing so great on the doubles like, but whether that's because of the logos I don't know. I'm not too far away, but I'm just going to leave it there. I mean, I actually do think it's definitely firmer than the one that I've already had before. It's just a case of finding out whether the logos are going to bother me, so I'm going to do a proper conclusion on the day of release. So I'm leaving the video at that point, and the next bit you should be able to see me on the day of release, and I'll have an idea of the price and everything. So that's that. Right then, so today is when it's released. So I've checked on the internet and looked at the price, and it's £90 for the Blade 360, which I was a little bit surprised at. I mean, I think the triple core is still 75. It was 4 years ago when I reviewed it, it was 75 then. I think some shops are selling it for 75 and some for 80, so it seems like you're only paying extra for the logos as far as I can tell, so that's a bit strange, isn't it? So I haven't used it a great deal, maybe about 3 or 4 hours in total, so I'll give you a look at the board as it is now. But it does definitely feel firmer than the one that I reviewed, and the holes don't seem to be healing up quite as nice as they did before, but it's not too bad. But anyway, I'll give you a look at it and then you can have a look for yourself. Well, I'll just give you a quick look. Like I say, I maybe only used it well, I don't know, maybe about 3.5 hours at most, I think. But as you can see, the holes don't seem to be healing up as well as I remember on the one that I reviewed before, and especially around the bullseye, because that did seem quite firm. So I suppose there's a bit of a trade-off between how well a board heals and the firmness, so it's either one thing or the other. I think the softer boards tend to heal a bit better though, and maybe that's why. But like I say, you can see where I've hit the logos a few times. I've even hit some of the numbers as well. I think I got a good one on the 19 there, right there. And I did notice a fibre come out. So I don't know, I haven't really used aggressive points or anything, and that's a little bit of fluff or something. But like I say, it's still early days, So I'm just going to conclude now. Right then, so to conclude, I mean, the logos did put me off at first, and I kind of got a little bit more used to them, but to be honest, I don't know if it's just me, but I would still prefer that they weren't there. But like I said before, it's better that they're kind of like a subdued colour and they're only small, but I still feel a little bit too close to the doubles. So that's just my opinion, but whether or not that bothers you or not, I don't know. But let me know in the comments if you've got one of the boards and what you think about it. I know it's easy for me to black them out with a black marker and all that, but anyway, the board itself, it's still early days. I like the fact that this one feels a little bit firmer. But obviously I'll have to use it for more just to see, but I just don't understand why it's cost that much more. It's like £10 more. Maybe the production's costs have gone up, as I know tungsten prices have gone up recently, so it might be the same with boards as well, I don't know, but it's getting a bit expensive now with boards. But this particular board I think is going to be used in the Players Championship next season, and I think they're still using the triple core on the PDC TV events, so whether that'll change and they'll come out with another new one soon, who knows. So anyway, that's the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Happy darting.